Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. How are you all? I miss you so much. It is time for another read aloud. But before we do, I figured I would start some of these read alouds with a joke of the day to keep things kind of fun and happy and funny while we're all at home. So today's joke of the day is, are you ready? What do you call a dinosaur that is sleeping? A dino snore. How funny is that? So funny. All right, so we're gonna get started on our reading. Today's read aloud is Froggy Goes to the Doctor. Froggy Goes to the Doctor. Now, as we've read some Froggy books in class before, they have all different kind of Froggy books, but I do not think that we've read this one, so we're gonna take a quick picture walk through the story. So it looks like he may be getting ready to go. Where do you think he's going? He might be in the waiting room here. Getting measured. Getting all dressed. Uh-oh. What do we think happened here? That is interesting. Looks like he's playing leapfrog. All right, so as we read this story, Froggy Goes to the Doctor, I want you guys to see if you can make a connection about a time that you've been to the doctor, or maybe just even in class in the doctor center. I want you to think about a time and try and make a connection about when you've been to the doctor or in the classroom. Did you do the things that Froggy's doing in the story when you went to the doctor? So think about all those sorts of things as I read the story. All right, Froggy Goes to the Doctor. Froggy woke up. Hooray! He thought, no school today. It's my checkup day. I can get up late. But wait. What if the doctor wants to give me a shot? Froggy! Called his mother. What? It's time to get up, dear. I don't want to get up, said Froggy. It's time for your checkup, said his mother. Now! Look at the cereal. It looks like it's flies. Froggy crawled out of bed and flopped into the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. It's time to see Dr. Mugwort, said his mother. Dr. Mugwort was the wife of Froggy's principal, Mr. Mugwort. I don't want to see Dr. Mugwort, groaned Froggy. I feel fine, see? Froggy hopped onto the table and tried to make a muscle. It's just a checkup, said Froggy's mother. Now go get dressed and don't forget to brush and put on clean underwear. So Froggy flopped back to his room to get dressed. Flop, flop, flop. At the doctor's office, they had to sit a long time in the waiting room. Froggy was worried. What if I need a shot? Then in came Froggalina with her mother. They're waiting in the waiting room just like we have done. Hi, Froggy, said Froggalina. She bounced down right beside him. Froggy scooted away. Froggalina scooted closer. Froggy scooted away and fell off the bench. Bonk! So he's scooting away, and then he falls off the bench. Froggy, said his mother. What? Sit up, dear, and please sit still. But it was hard to sit still. He made a paper airplane and threw it in the air. Zwish! Just as Dr. Mugwort stepped into the room, it circled once, it circled twice. Then hit her smack in the eye. Zow! Oops, said Froggy. Follow me, said Dr. Mugwort. She was not a happy doctor. got in her eye. She told Froggy to step on the scale, measured how tall he was, then led him and his mother into a room and said, "Take off all your clothes, Froggy, except for your underwear, and put on this paper gown." The doctor closed the door behind her. This looks like a connection. Froggy took off his shoes, pulled off his socks, unbuttoned his shirt, unzipped his pants, and looked down. "Oops," cried Froggy. "Mom, I forgot my underwear." Froggy's mother laughed. Forgot his underwear. Then she cut holes in a paper pillowcase and made a pair of underpants held together with safety pins. "But Mom," whined Froggy, "they look like diapers." He quickly pulled on his paper gown. Zeep! Dr. Mugwort came back in. She took his temperature, felt his tummy. "Oh, that tickles," giggled Froggy, and looked in his eyes with a light. "Please don't cross your eyes, Froggy." She didn't look in his ears. Froggy didn't have any ears. Frogs don't have ears. Then she looked in his mouth and said, "Say ah." "Ah!" "Oh," said Dr. Mugwort and almost fell on the floor. "Your breath smells like dead flies." "Oops," said Froggy. "I guess I forgot to brush." Ooh. She stood up and rubbed her stethoscope. "Now this may feel cold," she said, and pressed it against his back. "Yikes!" yelled Froggy. He grabbed the stethoscope and shouted into it, "It's freezing!" Again, Dr. Mugwort almost fell on the floor. So he's taking her stethoscope and yelling in it. Then she said, "Now, Froggy, let's check your reflexes." She tapped his knee with a little rubber hammer. Nothing. She tapped it a little harder. Bonk! And up flew his foot right into her chin. Clack. This time, Dr. Mugwort did fall on the floor. "Oops," cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. So he kicked her, and she fell on the floor. Dr. Mugwort stood up and glared at him. "Time for your shot, Froggy," she said. "Just kidding." Then she gave him a gold star and a lollipop and said, "You're a very healthy frog," and smiled. "See, Mom," said Froggy, "I told you I was fine." Froggy stuck the gold star on his forehead and the lollipop in his mouth, got dressed, zip, zoop, zup, 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 zup. Then leapfrogged with his mother, flop, 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 all the way to the exit. "Hey, Mom," said Froggy, "that was fun. Let's come back to see Dr. Mugwort real soon." "Not too soon," said Dr. Mugwort, waving goodbye. Oh my goodness, friends, that was a really silly story. Now, as we were reading the story, I definitely noticed a lot of connections from going to the doctors and from in the classroom. So I'm going to share you some of the connections that I made, and hopefully you can think of some connections. Right here, at this part of the story, I made a connection that this is what we do in class, right? We have chairs set up in a waiting room, and remember, we sit and wait patiently, and we read a story, just like you would do in the real waiting room for the doctor. Let me see. One more. Right here, he is getting measured and weighed, and we have this, we made a scale in our classroom, right? Do you remember? You would stand near the cubbies and you would get measured, see how tall you are and see how much you weighed. So I remember I thought about the classroom and I said, oh, we do that in the classroom. And I've also gone to the doctor before and got weighed and measured, and the doctor would write it down. So that is a connection I made. So there's a lot of different connections you can make in this story. So I want you to think about some connections about maybe in the classroom or when you've gone to the doctor, and think about it. Tell someone in your home, tell your parents, your brother or sister, tell them a connection that you made when we read this silly story, Froggy Goes to the Doctor. All right, I hope you enjoyed this story. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, friends. Have a good day. Stay safe.